This is a Rough Ryder work knife. They don't make this exact model anymore, but they do make a version of this with the blue denim micarta handles, which I believe is exactly the same knife, but with a different number and a different model number and a different handle material. So I wanted to talk about this knife because it is an exceptional value for money. The brand is well known in the knife community as a very value for money brand. It's a Chinese made knife, but Rough Ryder is a name owned by Smoky Mountain Knife Works in America. And at the time when this knife was made, Andy was working at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and he was also designing, I believe, a lot of the knives for the Rough Ryder brand. And as you know, Andy has moved on and is now in charge of his own brand with Rosecraft blades, which also are some fantastic value knives. But back to this one. This is the Rough Ryder work knife, as I said. It's a swayback jack with a Warncliffe blade, and it's got black micarta handles, brass liners, stainless steel spring, and I believe stainless steel bolsters. Anyway, this knife has a remarkable walk and torque. It's a rather heavy pull and a heavy snap. The pull is about, I don't know, it's got to be an 8.5. And it's got a great, you can see here how it snaps into half stop, and when you open it, it also has a great, very clear snap. And this is the knife. I think it's a rather beautiful shape, and the swayback jack matches the Warncliffe blade very well. And it's also a very comfortable knife to use. As you can see here, the model number on this one is RR2038, and it says China. And on the other side, the tank stamp is Rough Ryder. As you can see. And as I mentioned, the walk and talk is phenomenal. The centering is just perfect. And the back spring, when closed, is totally flush. And when I open it, to the half stop, the back spring is also totally flush, and when I open it all the way, back spring again is totally flush. And that's an attention to detail that you normally don't find on a knife at this price. And that is what makes this knife so remarkable. You can now buy this knife, or the same one with the micarta handle, the denim micarta handle, at The Smoky Mountain Knife Works, I can show you here. Here. There, at Smoky Mountain Knife Work. There's the Rough Ryder Denim micarta work knife. It's the exactly same knife. And it's on sale now for $14.38. I mean, you can't beat that for a knife of this quality. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And you may say that it's a Chinese knife and all that, and I understand. But when an American company makes a knife in China, most of the money actually goes back to the manufacturer or to the owner of the knife brand. They have it manufactured and pay for the manufacturing in China. But when they sell it on, they do make a profit on it, and that means that most of the money actually, in this case, then stays in America, even though it's made in China. So, well, I'm not gonna say anything more about that. You can obviously have your own opinion, and I respect that. I just wanted to talk about this knife because I think it is a great value for money. And I want to bring up Heine Haynes here in Europe. They have the same knife. Let me see if I can see some details here. It's a rather good looking, let's say beautiful knife actually. Here another picture of it. So you can see it's the same knife with a different handle, and I would say perhaps even a little bit more attractive handle on the new one. You may say that it's not totally traditional because it's not a bone or a stag handle. But still, I think the denim micarta is a good looking handle, and it is, as the name implies, a work knife. And the micarta can take a beating, and it doesn't chippy or break easily. So it's perfect, I think, for a work knife. And at this price, that's kind of phenomenal. As you can see, that's the Heine Haynes page, and because I live in Norway, my prices come up here, excluding the VAT, so I pay Norwegian taxes when I get it. But from Heine Haynes, it's £19, 13p. So I pay 25% tax in Norway when it arrives here, on top of that. And the shipping from Heine Haynes is quite reasonable. So if you live anywhere in Europe or in the world, you can order from Heine Haynes, and they have a great selection of knives. So let's go back, and I'll just take away that window. I'm back to this knife, and this is the perfect timing, because if you wanna introduce someone to the knife hobby, or you wanna just give away a great tool, or even if you wanna give a knife to a knife person, if they don't have this, I can tell you they will appreciate it, and it doesn't break the bank. So that's just a tip for this Christmas. As a knife collector, I always encourage people to buy knives as presents, because you can introduce a non-knife person to a great hobby, and you can also see the value in carrying a pocket knife And the traditional pocket knives are, I don't know, they had an increasing popularity at the time, I think. It's the kind of knives that Grandpa carried, and not without reason. They are great tools. So for this Christmas, take a look online and check out. If you're on a budget, don't hesitate to buy a Rough Ryder. They have some great knives, and especially this one. I can highly recommend this as a Christmas present for someone you like. So please leave a comment if you have any experiences with the brand or with knives in general, or if you have any questions. And thank you very much for watching.